Now I'm gonna try to hold it together but if you disrespect me, which is what he just did, I'm not gonna ask him about what he talking about. When I get close enough, I'm finna show him what I ain't talking about. You understand where I'm coming from? Had he said that in my day,
A Twitter beef between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson is...
Teofimo Lopez is being accused of igniting chaos across the boxing scene after a tense moment at his most recent press event with Shakur Stevenson, where what witnesses say unfolded stunned everyone in the room. What was supposed to be a routine stare-down between two unbeaten stars reportedly crossed a serious line, with observers claiming the confrontation moved past verbal jabs and into unexpected physical territory. People familiar with the incident allege the exchange escalated far beyond standard pre-fight mind games, and rumors of existing video evidence have only intensified the fallout. Multiple attendees insist that during a heated split-second interaction, Lopez allegedly put his hands on Stevenson, turning an ordinary face-off into a moment that could completely alter the narrative surrounding this matchup.
Hold the f***. Don't try me.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, you ain't fight a fighter with that kind of style yet to know, like, whether he's, that's all I'm saying.
Don't try me.
You bring a different style to the table.
Accounts coming from inside the venue claim the situation boiled over in an instant, with one source alleging Teofimo suddenly lost control. According to those reports, the exchange shifted from words to action in a split second, as his hand allegedly struck Shakur's face without warning. The room reportedly went silent, with attendees stunned that things had escalated beyond the usual pre-fight intensity. Since then, the alleged altercation has exploded online, sparking widespread speculation as fans hunt for footage and push for clarity on what truly went down between the two top-level fighters. Despite the noise, the exact sequence of events remains disputed, with different witnesses offering slightly conflicting accounts of how the confrontation unfolded. What's made the situation even more volatile is Shakur Stevenson's immediate response afterward, which has further intensified an already heated rivalry.
There you go.
Real quick,
Immediately following the alleged contact, reports indicate Shakur Stevenson reacted in a way that made it clear he had no intention of ignoring what had just happened. Individuals who say they witnessed the moments after the incident claim Shakur attempted to move toward Teofimo, only to be stopped by security along with members from both camps. Someone familiar with the scene allegedly said Shakur was fully prepared to engage on the spot, repeatedly shouting that Teofimo had just made the worst decision of his life. According to those accounts, his anger was so intense that his team had to physically hold him back to prevent him from rushing forward, underscoring just how volatile the situation became within seconds.
I'm officially changing my pick. I gotta go T.O. Gotta go T.O., bro. I'm sorry, bro. T.O. just going crazy, bro. He too locked in. His mental is dead. He's like past this. He like, bro, I'm finna run through Shakur. I'm finna knock his ass out. He's not finna make it. He's on that, and I get it. Y'all gonna say he's never gonna be able to touch him, but Shakur has not fought nobody as fucking well-rounded as a great fighter as Teofimo, and Shakur...
This reported reaction has caught many by surprise, mainly because Shakur Stevenson is widely recognized for staying composed during media events and almost never allowing emotions to disrupt his demeanor. Several figures within the boxing world suggest that if Teofimo did in fact lay hands on him, the moment went beyond acceptable promotion and may have pushed their looming matchup into a far more personal and potentially hazardous territory.
Because he buddy with...
Ain't you gonna beat me?
But I'm saying,
ain't you gonna beat me?
I'm saying it.
That's what we have. If you gonna beat me, what are we
I know what
talking
I'm
about?
gonna do.
The boxing world is now split over whether this supposed altercation was the result of real hostility or a calculated move meant to boost pay-per-view interest, but some insiders claim the tension didn't come out of nowhere. Those close to the build-up say there were clear indications well before the press conference that the situation was intensifying beyond control. In the days leading up to the face-off, Teofimo Lopez was reportedly issuing sharper and more confrontational remarks about Shakur, with his tone growing increasingly hostile as the event approached, suggesting the conflict may have been building long before the two ever came face-to-face.
But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or
People close to Teofimo Lopez claim he had been venting to his inner circle ahead of the event, allegedly saying he was fed up with Shakur presenting himself as someone who couldn't be touched, and warning that disrespect toward him or his family would not be ignored. Those reported remarks now carry far more weight if the accounts of physical contact are true, pointing to something far more calculated than a spontaneous outburst. A number of boxing analysts argue this rivalry has been simmering beneath the surface for years, driven by unresolved personal friction rather than simple promotional hype. Insiders from both sides suggest arguments had already been brewing over issues like headline status and the way the fight was being marketed, allowing resentment to build well before the two fighters ever shared the same stage.
So the question is, does Teofimo have the speed to land, to throw and land with his feet and his hands before Shakur's magical, legendary defensive skills can pick it up and get out the way?
Individuals familiar with the negotiation process claim tensions had already escalated behind the scenes, including an alleged dispute involving Teofimo Lopez's father and members of Shakur Stevenson's camp over issues of respect, status, and recognition. One insider reportedly said Lopez Sr. went back and forth with Shakur's team about who truly deserved championship acknowledgement, a clash that supposedly pushed the rivalry into deeply personal territory. That family dynamic is said to have intensified an already unstable situation, with ego and reputation playing a central role as tempers flared. The most disputed aspect centers on the exact instant when the alleged physical contact took place, with multiple eyewitnesses stating it happened during what was meant to be a routine face-off for promotional photos. According to consistent accounts, the two fighters were standing inches apart for cameras when Lopez allegedly made a sudden hand motion after a brief exchange of words, with one nearby observer claiming Lopez was speaking quietly before Shakur responded, triggering the moment where Lopez's hand allegedly struck the side of Shakur's face. While no verified video has surfaced and it remains uncertain whether security footage captured the incident, the volume of similar testimonies suggests something out of the ordinary occurred. The allegations have since ignited intense reactions online, with fans split between outrage and excitement, some calling the fight instant must-watch television if the claims are true, while others dismiss the story as manufactured hype meant to boost interest. Supporters on both sides have been fiercely defending their fighter, citing personality, past behavior, and perceived motives to justify their stance, highlighting a sharp divide over whether the incident represented justified retaliation or crossed into unprofessional conduct. Adding to the controversy is the timing, as the alleged confrontation took place at a promotional event intended to build positive momentum for their scheduled January 31st clash at Madison Square Garden, raising serious questions throughout the boxing world so close to fight night.
I don't think none of these dudes is on my level when I'm at my best, so he got a lot to deal with come January 31st.
So without giving up too much, when you look at him as a professional and you see what he's done, the fights he's fought, his style, what is it about him that you are going to exploit?
I think he the truth. He do a lot of things well. I think he flat.
A number of people watching closely find the timing questionable, noting that such an intense flare-up surfaced precisely when promotional momentum needed a spark, and opinions from within the boxing promotion world appear sharply divided. Some figures connected to promotion efforts have allegedly hinted this controversy could significantly boost pay-per-view interest, while others say immediate behind-the-scenes talks began about crisis management and increasing security at future events. One promoter speaking anonymously reportedly claimed there was genuine excitement among organizers, arguing that conflict drives sales and that visible hostility draws in casual viewers, though other industry voices have allegedly warned the situation could spiral out of control without strict safeguards. Beyond marketing concerns, the alleged contact carries possible regulatory consequences, since athletic commissions generally ban any physical altercations during the build-up to an officially sanctioned fight. If the incident is confirmed and ruled a breach of conduct, Teofimo Lopez could face penalties ranging from fines to further disciplinary measures, with legal analysts noting the outcome would hinge entirely on how the commission interprets the action. One attorney familiar with fighter regulations allegedly explained that brief open-hand contact during a heated exchange might be considered minor, but any determination that it was a deliberate strike would elevate the issue significantly. These regulatory uncertainties have added another layer of tension, prompting both sides to tread carefully in public, even as reports suggest Lopez's camp is privately defending his actions as a warranted reaction to provocation, a stance that contrasts with their more restrained official messaging.
But Teofimo knock out Shakur? No. Can Teo adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Teo. They both hate where each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers. De Los Santos sitting back and not being active, Shakur doesn't look.
Those aligned with Teofimo Lopez claim Shakur Stevenson allegedly made a deeply offensive remark about Lopez's family during the stare-down, a comment they say crossed an unforgivable boundary and triggered an immediate reaction. A member of Lopez's camp reportedly argued that criticism of Teofimo as a boxer is fair game, but dragging family into the exchange guarantees repercussions, insisting Shakur learned that the hard way. This explanation has found support among fans who believe certain lines should never be crossed, even within the context of fight promotion. On the other side, Stevenson's supporters have pushed back, maintaining that no verbal exchange, no matter how provocative, can excuse physical contact at a professional media event. In the wake of these allegations, organizers are said to be facing serious difficulties as they attempt to map out future promotional appearances under heightened scrutiny.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you in, he wants to counterpunch, he's going to have to be...
People familiar with the planning say security measures for the upcoming press appearance have reportedly been rewritten from the ground up to eliminate any chance of the fighters getting close enough to touch. Organizers are allegedly weighing options such as placing a physical divider between them or increasing the number of security personnel present. One coordinator involved with the event is said to have warned that no risks can be taken after what was reported, explaining that an early physical clash could threaten the entire promotion and potentially result in massive financial losses. These precautions underscore how quickly unchecked personal hostility can move from calculated hype into a situation with serious business consequences.
Defensive fighter, very good offensive fighter. The difference between the two, for me, I think that Teofimo might be a little bit stronger of the two. But, you know, speed can sometimes nullify power.
As word of the alleged confrontation continues to ripple through boxing circles, reactions from other fighters have become a major talking point. Several active competitors have reportedly taken to social media to debate whether Teofimo's supposed behavior was understandable or a clear violation of professional standards. Some boxers have allegedly backed Lopez, arguing that defending personal respect is justified, while others have criticized any form of physical engagement outside the ring as reckless and unacceptable. Retired champions who have lived through similarly intense build-ups are also said to have weighed in, offering hard-earned perspective from their own careers, with one former title holder reportedly explaining that while emotions can run high, discipline matters, and that real payback is meant to happen on fight night, under the rules, when it actually counts.
How I see this fight being played out is with me pretty much setting that momentum for the people out there as well. You know, not really trying to force for it. However, I can't be too technical with Shakur. You got to make it a little ugly. You got to make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a waited.
This kind of seasoned insight underscores the high professional stakes in boxing and why veteran fighters are trained to control their aggression until it matters most. The alleged altercation has also ignited wider discussions about where genuine rivalry ends and manufactured drama begins in contemporary fight promotion. According to reports, fans and media alike are debating whether this level of authentic hostility enhances the sport's appeal or creates a risky standard that could complicate future promotional events.
Keep it a buck with you. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, this is not going to be a close fight at all. Like, I don't think you guys understand just how good Shakur is. He is one of the best 135-pounders on the planet. In fact, I actually have him as the best 135-pounder on the planet. I don't think that Teofimo Lopez has the fight IQ to close the distance. I don't think he's going to be able to land the shots. I think that Shakur is going to be on the back foot, jabbing, doing what he usually does his way to.
Some observers claim that genuine tension fuels the most compelling narratives and can skyrocket pay-per-view sales, while others caution that early confrontations risk injury before the fighters even step into the ring. Boxing historians have allegedly cited previous pre-fight incidents, showing mixed outcomes, sometimes enhancing the matchup, other times undermining it, leaving the overall effect unclear. As both camps reportedly navigate the aftermath, the central question is whether this alleged episode will influence the January 31st showdown. Many analysts suggest that if the reported contact truly happened, it could alter the mental dynamics between the fighters, potentially reshaping how the bout unfolds inside the ring.
A lot of people describe what Shakur does as the same thing that people used to describe as what Floyd Mayweather did, right? People called him a runner, a track star, this and that. Now he's acknowledged as one of the greatest fighters of all time. And I think it's going to be the same thing here with Shakur Stevenson. I think we're going to see the level of dominance, the level of fight IQ, and I think that the only way that Teo wins this fight is if he's able to get into an exchange with Shakur, where Shakur's...
When fighters perceive personal disrespect or humiliation, they often enter the ring with a drastically altered mindset, which can result in heightened aggression or risky decisions. According to reports from sports psychologists who work with combat athletes, this type of deep-seated animosity can cut both ways. It may intensify focus and motivation, or it could cause a fighter to abandon strategy entirely, letting emotion override skill.
Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I like both guys, honestly. I like both guys. Teofimo, he's funny, he's got character, but he's a great fighter. He's very athletic. He comes from awkward angles, and I do like his style, but I study boxing.
The unpredictable factor in all of this is how each fighter internally reacts to the alleged confrontation and whether it translates into a mental advantage when they finally meet in the ring. What does appear clear, according to multiple reports, is that public interest in the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson matchup has surged dramatically since the story emerged.
The difference is you never fought no elite fighter.
Okay, I don't think y'all did either.
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think y'all did either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You've never been on a big stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches.
You've never been on a big.
Reports indicate that ticket sales for the Madison Square Garden showdown have surged, and social media buzz around the fight has reached unprecedented levels, exceeding even the most optimistic projections from promoters. Whether the alleged confrontation was a spontaneous eruption or a calculated promotional tactic, it has undeniably succeeded in turning this matchup into must-watch television. As January 31st approaches, the boxing community will be watching closely to see if tensions flare again or if both camps can uphold professional boundaries. For now, fans are left speculating about the true events at the press conference and whether the reported physical contact will fuel even greater intensity once the fighters finally clash in the ring.
Teo lands his jab when he wants to. Jab to the body, bang, right there. He landed the jab up top a few times, where Shakur is just posturing. This makes for a very boring fight. What y'all think?
That's a wrap for today. For the latest in breaking news, highlights, and everything happening in the boxing world, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our high-quality content. Until next time, take care.